Hello, I am Henry. I'm actually this CEO, founder of Semisoft, and I'm the lead game designer for Legrand Legacy, JRPG that is coming out 24th January this year on PC. Legrand Legacy is a love letter or an homage basically to the 80s, 90s, the golden age of JRPGs like Suikoden, Legend of Dragoon, Fire Emblem. So you've got a lot of features in there, like the olden days of RPG. Like we've got the turn-based combat, we've got the tactical war, minigames, side quests, recruiting, building up your headquarters. So you've got like the whole shenanigans of a golden age RPG in there. It's it's coming out in PC first, and then we're gonna port it to all the three major consoles, Switch, Xbox, and PS4 as well. Uh, it's a story about six unlikely band of misfits, I would say. They're thrown into a situation where they're forced to go above and beyond of their initial, basically, jobs or what they're supposed to be doing. You got the whole cliches of a bunch of heroes trying to save the world, blah blah blah, but the story actually focuses a lot more on themselves, the heroes themselves, like the human side of them, even though they're not entirely human per se, quote unquote. Um, so yeah, that's the summary of the game. Actually, okay, Finn is suffering from amnesia. He was supposedly betrayed by someone in the past. He was sold to slavery. He into slavery, and so he's a gladiator. He's trying to fight himself out of his situation, basically. Arya is an overbearing, um, kind of like your mom, in a sense, but or a big sister. If you're familiar with the term tsundere, that's what she is. But she's basically on an adventure trying to find this some old geezer from the ancient world. Supposedly he's supposed to be the key to ending the civil war that's been going on in supposedly where she come from. Um, Aries, she's a very sickly, I guess, a sickly girl. She just wants to see the world, keeps a diary of everything she observes and experiences. Uh, Kyle, he's enigmatic, supposedly like your go-to guy, like a thief. Azam is he's he's your warrior, basically. He's the when you meet him, he's a champion gladiator. And then Skatia is a supposedly like a 300-year-old witch. That's the like the mom of the group. Yeah. We are basically 13 right now, including myself, AJ, and Ravinia. So we've got like four artists, two programmers, two designers, one marketing, two producers, two game designers. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. We had a lot of help, for the storyboard, for the cinematics, the pre-rendering of the 2D backgrounds, the um, uh, localization for sure. I mean, we couldn't just localize it ourselves. So we even have a publisher if you actually count that as a outside help. Um, yeah, so we had a lot of help, of course. This is our first game. We don't have any experience in marketing a game and basically publishing a game worldwide. So we needed someone with experience. We needed someone who knows how to. You basically know the ropes of doing this. So that's actually the first and main reason why uh, we wanted a publisher to help us. The publisher, another indie, they helped us with localization. They helped us with some marketing as well, like media contacts. They helped us uh, with events as well. They helped us a little bit in terms of the cost, that's for sure. And of course, like I said, contacts is also very important, I think. Um, in in our case, actually, it's more of hey, why don't you try to implement this? Because without this feature, there will be a huge negative impact based on their experience or based on their observation as well. They've been in the industry longer than we are, way longer than we are. So it's just more on towards that kind of say basically. So it's not like oh, gotta change all this, gotta change the whole thing, and gotta change this, gotta change that. Uh, some really minor ones, yes, but it's within a limited scope, so it's okay. So far, it's pretty good. Funny thing is, I think the first meeting we had was AJ, my partner. He went to this party in Roppongi in Tokyo. So it was during TGS, last TGS. Yeah, this previous TGS, this most recent one. Um, I was too tired because I was manning the booth the whole day, and I let him take care of that, and he went there and actually he made some contacts, and including another indie. So that's how we met, and we started talking, and apparently Yun, he came to Indonesia before, so it's not his first time meeting an Indonesian game dev. So that helped quite a bit. That helped basically, I guess, breaking the ice a little bit. So that's how it all started, basically. Funny story. I mean, I've always been like the go-to guy to play games, basically, amongst my friends. And one day, just my friends just told me like, hey, uh, Henry, just do something with games, since you love it so much. So okay, I don't know where to start. I mean, I don't know how to code, I don't know how to draw and everything. And so you know, friends introduce me to actually I got introduced to Aki first. He's actually helping out with our Japanese marketing, and then Aki introduced myself to another guy, a mutual friend of ours, and then introduced to AJ. That's how it all started. I mean, it was quite a long chain of introduction, basically. So yeah, that's how we started in 2014, basically, about 4 years ago now, 3 years ago. This is actually the first game that this whole team or this company basically have made or is making. Um, the others, I think, some of them have worked on other games before outside of this team and this company. I think yeah, our designer and some of the programmers also have worked on some small game jam games basically. But this is our first, so it's our maiden voyage. EJ has worked on the gaming industry for sure. He's been around longer than I have. This is my first time jumping in with both feet into the gaming industry. So I'm still trying to learn the ropes around here. I'm getting to know people, getting the right contacts, and trying to avoid the wrong contacts as well. That's pretty important as well. I think it's applicable to every industry out there. That's a tough one, actually. I do a little bit of sports. I play a lot of team sports, like tennis, soccer, basketball, badminton. I do play a little bit of golf. I don't like going to the gym. I don't like to run like a hamster on a treadmill. Other than that, I hate going to the mall, uh, going shopping. I love going to the park, but sadly we can't really go to the park here in Jakarta because the weather is just too humid. It's not recommended at all. Um, Other than that, I do build plastic models, Gundams. Um, I watch anime. I mean, I know, you guys can judge any, but yeah, I watch anime. So, uh, a little bit actually. I don't know if reading the Bible actually count as a hobby, but truth be told, a little bit of inspiration came from there. Um, my life stories, basically, my observation. So basically, inspiration for a video game in terms of story, in terms of gameplay, or music, whatever it can actually come from anywhere. Not just video games, right? So a book I read, or just a little show that I watched a long time ago, whatever it is, or an experience that I had before in the past when I was a kid or when I was growing up. So that can actually influence the game. Final Fantasy, I guess in a lot of RPGs, like, I mean, that's the grandfather of all RPGs, right? Uh, my favorite, Final Fantasy 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. Not so much on the later ones, but yeah, the latest one would be 10, and the earliest one would be 4. Those are the main my favorite, and I guess not the main inspiration, but a little bit of inspiration here and there from those games. I did mention Suikoden, I did mention Legend of Dragoon, I did mention Fire Emblem. I did mention the Bible a little bit. I Game of Thrones for its dark theme, I guess, and basically just um, anyone can die theme. Um, what else? I guess that's most of the major source of inspiration. Other than the fact that we need the money, um, I think Kickstarter is a good platform to at least get the word out there that we exist in the early stages, and we it's kind of nice to have like a group of following, a group of fans per se to in the early stages, because we really don't know how or where or how we're gonna market this game. So it's a good marketing tool as well, actually. Oh, yes, and we get good feedback as well, actually. Since it's the early stages, so we can actually get a lot of feedback how how this game is perceived, if it's actually gonna be good at all, or how well it's gonna be received. Uh, we we just we just come in with a lot of planning, and we just try to do it as professional as possible. We actually had help also from PR Hound. Um, so Dan actually helped us with the whole campaign as well. Um, the whole PR Hound guys helped us a bit, and um, yeah, I guess just basically delivering, and be very active in terms of updates and comments, and just keep your backers very much involved. uh, I think that's really important. uh, since this is our first game and this is our first time doing this, nobody has heard about us, nobody knows about us. Having a goal that is way too high, that's actually pretty difficult. I guess you gotta have a reasonable goal, and also um, mistakes. I don't know. I can't really think of any right now, actually. But yeah, I mean, the just be reasonable with your goals, and be reasonable with the kind of awards that you want to deliver. Building the community beforehand is very, very important. I mean, it's kind of like a chicken and egg kind of a situation, where I mean, you need the Kickstarter campaign to be successful. Um, I mean, you need the crowd to have your Kickstarter to be successful, but also at the same time, you you need a successful Kickstarter. Then you can have a. Does that make sense? But uh, and this is our first game, right? So nobody knows about us, as I mentioned. So That's pretty difficult actually. Pre-production is very important. Pre-production since this is our first game and first time doing something like this, I think um, we've made a lot of mistakes in hiring, especially because we really don't know a lot of people in the industry, and uh, how we market the game. I guess we can improve in that. And basically the pre-production side, it's very important to plan out what you want to put in the game, what kind of features you want to have in the game. That's very important, because halfway through, if you want to change something, it's not as easy just flicking your finger just like that. No, it's not. We're not ordering pizza here, or we're not like making instant noodles. But this is it's gonna be a major endeavor. It's gonna cost a lot of time and money to change something halfway. Luckily, in our case, we hadn't come across something like that. Like gotta change the whole thing. Music. AJ is actually our music director. He's the one he's the conductor, basically. He has his own team. We've got our own in-house team to compose the music, to compose and mix the music. A lot of the process itself actually. We've got like more than 100 pieces, and we basically brief the team what kind of music that we is supposed to go into this particular scene, and some of the general ones like the battle music or the world theme. What's the kind of feeling that we want to convey, and then they'll decide. Basically, the team will decide on the instrument, and how, I guess, the whole general tone of the music is going to be like. So that's the gist of the music process. So we're gonna be launching pretty soon in 24th January, actually this year, on PC, Steam, Game Jolt, GOG, Humble Store. Those are the major ones. We are porting. Then we will. I think it's gonna be in English first, and I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, as of now, we're gonna release simultaneously in Chinese. We are localizing it to Russian, Korean, and Japanese as well. And depending on how the game is, how well the game does, then we will do it, and we'll translate it to Spanish, French, German, Portuguese as well. We're gonna port it as well to the three major consoles, like I said, and we plan to release the console versions sometime later in 2018, probably even up to the early 2019, so next year. that's we've got everything all planned out. Um, yeah, so do check us out. Actually, we have a Discord channel. Actually, it's our publishers, another indie, discord.gg/AI. Come say hi. Some of the Kickstarter backers are there. We're there. Come say hi also in Facebook. Come say hi in Twitter. Just look for us, Legrand Legacy, all in one word. And then, yeah, so Henry signing out.